Welcome to Otakus Justin here, and today we're kicking off episode one of Any Gaming here on the channel. And if you're watching this on Otakus you can watch it there as well. We're kicking this off. Reason why I'm doing Any Gaming is because I am a huge anime fan. Obviously, my whole website is based off of this anime, this medium. But I wanted to highlight anime video games specifically, and I wanted to kick off a couple of episodes highlighting the anime games from the PlayStation 2 era. And one of my favorite games of anime from that particular era is an anime that I still think to this day doesn't get as much praise as it does. It was one of my favorite animes back in the early 2000s. It really got me hooked and really brought me back into anime because I took a little break from it. And that anime is Eureka 7. Eureka 7 video games were really good on the PS2. Not much with the PSP version of the adaptation of the show. That was decent enough, but that was exclusively in Japan. But Eureka 7 New Wave Volume 1, I should say Eureka 7 Volume 1, The New Wave, is a prequel worth remembering. Eureka 7 Volume 1, The New Wave is a game that often slips under the radar when discussing Eureka 7 franchise, but it plays a crucial role because it's an actual prequel and it expands the universe beyond the anime. It was released in 2005 for the PlayStation 2, and it serves as a prequel to the Record 7 anime, offering fans a deeper look into the LFOs, which stands for Light Finding Operation Mechs, and the social political complexities that drive the series. So let's do a little deep dive into this world of Eureka 7 New Wave. So bear with me before we even talk about the game. I just want to give our viewers who have never seen the anime a quick overview of the series. And just a warning, Eureka 7 storyline can be convoluted at times and very complex at times as well, especially with all the type of terms that they use in this. So I might even confuse you more, but I'm going to give it a shot. So the series of Eureka 7 is set in the future where humanity lives on this planet covered in this substance called the subcoral, which harbors a mysterious energy known as the trapar. The energy allows for the existence of the LFOs, which are the mechs. And through that, they're able to surf the airways of the trapar particles. The story of Eureka 7 revolves around such themes as love, rebellion, search of identity, and it's all set against this backdrop of the interplanetary conflict on what to do with the subcoral, the LFOs, and the Trapar. So, Eureka 7 Volume 1, The New Wave, takes place years before the anime, offering fans a chance to really explore the origins of certain characters such as Holland. Spoiler, yes, Holland's in the game, and he's a complete badass. The game introduces us who we're going to be playing as Sumner Sturgeon, a young pilot aspiring to become a LFO rider. And through his journey, we get to witness the early stages of the military industrial complex that we see from the anime that will play a significant role later on. Speaking of story, let's examine that story and talk a little bit about it. Completely spoiler free, by the way, because just in case you want to pick this up and check it out for yourself. So, the new wave takes place several years before the events of the anime, as I said, and is focusing on a new set of characters that laid the groundwork for the conflicts and themes that we see in the anime. We follow Sumner Sturgeon, a young aspiring LFO pilot who dreams of becoming a member of the military elite. Unlike our protagonist in Eureka 7, Renton Thurston, Sumner, is more of a straight laced, determined character who's deeply invested in the military structure and the opportunities that it offers. Similar to Renton, he is a fanboy of those LFOs, especially how Renton is admiring Holland and he wants to be part of that crew, the Gecko State. Sumner, he wants to be part of the military. He wants to be part of the LFO elite team. He loves the LFOs. He loves everything about it. The game introduces us to Sumner's journey through the ranks of the military, from a fresh recruit with the new wave to a seasoned pilot with the Sawyer team. All along the way, though, Sumner encounters various characters, including his close friend Ruri, a fellow pilot trainee, and Huki, a mischievous, talented mechanic, also, as they call him, that bashful womanizer. Won't spoil why they call him that. You have to see in the game. It's a little creepy though. Hooky is a little creepy. Anyone who's played the game could probably like, yeah, that's not somebody I kind of want to keep around. He's lovable, but at the same time, it's like, bro, you gotta dial it back a bit. Just dial it back. So the narrative is primarily driven by Sumner's experiences and challenges that he faces navigating this harsh life of military life. The moral dilemmas of war, discovery of deeper conspiracy involving the military industrial complex. While the story doesn't reach emotional heights the same as the anime, especially when it comes to character development, we do get a solid foundation of understanding the world building of Eureka 7 in a world where technological advances and political power struggles really intertwine with the game. The story also hints at the origins of a key element in the anime, such as the development of LFO technology and the tension between the military and anti government factions that we see later on, setting the stage for the events that we will see in Renton's journey. So I will definitely say that this is an essential prequel and you get to play it for yourself. And gameplay is not bad either. And speaking of gameplay, let's talk about that. Gameplay. Where would the game be without us being able to feel like we are actually in the anime? And I'm happy to report that Eureka 7 Volume 1, The New Wave, makes you feel like you're in an anime. The gameplay is a blend of mecha combat and hoverboard racing, which is a hallmark staple in the Eureka 7 franchise. The mechanics are divided into two main components: LFO battles and riftboard battles or hoverboard races. The LFO combat is primarily focusing on offering players the chance to engage in high octane battles with large open environments. The LFOs are highly maneuverable, capable of quick dashes, jumps, and mid-air combat, making the battles fast-paced and dynamic. Players can also customize the LFOs with different weapons and equipment that they can buy from stores through battle, and also having a degree of strategy of how they approach each mission. For example, there might be some battles where you want to use a rocket launcher to take out various enemies. There might be a time where you have to switch combat modes, and you do have to switch combat modes. You have your regular driving mode for your LFO, and then you have your LFO standard standing up combat mode, which we're used to seeing with the Nirvash. This also combat is relatively straightforward with a mix of melee and range attacks, and its fluidity movements makes it feel like the LFO battles really do stand out. We'll have to say though, the controls do get takes time to really get used to, but once you get the feel of the controls and the camera movement, sometimes it is fixed angled. But once you lock onto enemies, it kind of really does set itself apart. And it does a good job of capturing that sense of speed and agility that really defines the LFO combat in the anime, with the ability to chain together combos and transition from ground to air combat. But like I said, it takes a while to really get the hang of it, but they do offer you a tutorial, so points for that. However, the game's AI can be inconsistent with enemies being either too easy or difficult. So yeah, this is where I will have to say there's a flaw in the game here, because there's moments where you'll just face one enemy, you mopping the floor with them, and then the next minute you die because they're overpowered, and it really gets frustrating at points. But despite that, the game is still fun to play, and it is, especially in the later stages when we get to introduce more complex scenarios and larger scale battles, especially air combat, is where things come into play. You also get to take Sumner on out of the LFO as well, and have to sometimes do some physical attacks, some stealth, shooting, and things of that nature. The shooting mechanics is not the best, especially during this PS2 era, but I will have to say I did have fun with the riftboard racing, and the hoverboard races are really a welcome break from LFO combat, offering players the chance to really test their skills at high speed hoverboards. And this is where you can use the trap bars and usually get more speed and surfacing scenes, and you can do actual air tricks like wheelies and things like that. It's really cool. Ollies and all that stuff. So the races are very fast paced and require quick reflexes, and you can navigate through courses filled with obstacles, ramps, and sharp turns. It's very, very fun. I will have to say it's a definite welcome addition. Makes you really feel like you're part of the anime, and it does a great job of that.
But you spent so much time defending your top spot!
It was when I got to the top that I finally understood. That's why I'm satisfied with this.
Yeah, but Rory, I never got my revenge on you.
You're right about that. Well, next time you get the chance, you're welcome to try. Oh, I almost forgot. I got you a going-away present. Here, take it.
Reached the bottom level.
Whoa. What do you think, Sumner? Amazing, huh?
Yeah, incredible. It's hard to believe all this is underground.
Quit sightseeing out there and look sharp. There's work to do. Sumner, get to the underground headquarters.
Roger.
Hey, looks like you're okay, Sawyer team. Take a little rest here.
Huh?
While the gameplay does a great job of holding it down, Eureka 7, the new wave, does a decent job of capturing the aesthetics of the Eureka 7 universe visually. Though it is limited by the PS2 hardware, the character models are well designed and it does give you the same feel and art style of the anime. I would have to say, in hindsight now, maybe a little more cel-shaded look would have probably worked for this, just to keep up with it, or keep up with a little bit of the anime aesthetics that we see now in video games. But I would have to say the character model designs were pretty good, somewhat simplistic in environments. While not really detailed, is enough of a variety for you to keep you interested visually in the game. However, the standout hands down goes to the mechs, the LFOs. They look great. They look great in battle. The visual effects, the way they shoot, the way they move gracefully throughout the sky, especially the hoverboard races, it really captures the anime to a T. I will also have to say another strong point is the game sound. The soundtrack does a great job of mixing orchestrated music, upbeat tempo, electronic songs, and the voice acting top notch is the highlight of the sound because we got the English cast and Japanese cast who reprise their roles, who do show up. Not going to spoil anybody who showed up if you're planning to play this game or go do a deep dive yourself. I already spoiled Holland, but there are more characters from the Eureka 7 anime series that do show up in here, and they give a stellar performance and do a solid job and really give you that sense of it. As far for the original characters' performances like Sumner, I played the English dub, always played the English dub of this game, and it does a great job. Seriousness on the military settings and personal struggles have no issues when it comes to the sound. So let us conclude this real quick and have to say this. The new wave is underrated. It really is. I love this game. I recently played it again. Still love the story. And how I always do this, if I'm gonna binge watch Eureka 7, I play New Wave 1 and New Wave and Volume 2, which I will get to down the line. And it does a great job of being a good origin story for Eureka 7. It explores the world of technology that plays a central role in the anime, enriches the overall narrative, giving you a little bit more perspective of the military industrial complex. The game's story, while it's not that groundbreaking, it is compelling enough to keep you engaged, and it offers a satisfying mix of mecha combat, hoverboard racing, and a little bit of third-person shooter, which isn't actually the weakest point of the game. But if you're a fan of Eureka 7, the new wave is definitely a must-play for you because it is a good prequel and it gives you a nice perspective of the world that you love. So definitely check out this tie-in game. It is a thoughtful prequel that adds depth to a Eureka 7 universe. While it may not be perfect and it does have its flaws like any video game does, this is one of those solid anime games that still to this day I think it's underrated. It doesn't get as much praise and love how it captured the universe of the anime of its subject. For this case, it's Eureka 7. If you love Renton, if you love Holland, if you love that particular world and universe, give this a try if you're able to pick it up on a PS2 and check it out. This is Justin from Otakus and Geeks.com. This has been episode 1 of Any Gaming. What did you think of Eureka 7, the new wave? If you ever played it, if you're one of the old heads like me and you played this game for the PS2 back in the day, if you're going back and researching and playing the game now, what did you think of it? Comment below what anime games do you think I should cover for Any Gaming. Episode 2 will be on the horizon, and let's just say it's a little bit of a ghost. I have a little bit of a ghost. There's your little hint. A comment below, let me know, and we'll talk to you later. Peace, love, and happiness. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Later day.